A top AEW star has discussed retiring from wrestling, and the Elite have taken shots at CM Punk. But first, let's get to the quickfire headlines, as this past Sunday, Kairi would leave the NJPW Stardom historic crossover show as the first ever IWGP Women's Champion, defeating Mayu Iwatani in the main event of the show. Well, her first title challenger has now been confirmed, with Tam Nakano set to challenge for the belt at Wrestle Kingdom 17. Interestingly, this will be the first ever women's singles match on a Wrestle Kingdom show, with the first women's match happening 3 years ago in a Stardom exhibition tag match that saw Mayu Iwatani and Arisa Hoshika defeat Hana Kimura and Julia. Now let's get to some news from WWE Raw, as the team with the advantage in this weekend's War Games match has now been revealed. The Survivor Series pay-per-view will see Damage Control, Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley take on Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Michin, formerly known as Mia Yim, and a mystery partner. Well, the heel team will now have a one-person advantage for various parts of the match. This after Rhea Ripley defeated Asuka last night to give her team a major boost. And speaking of the Women's War Games match, the fifth member of the babyface team is yet to be confirmed, with WWE now stating that the reveal will happen this Friday on SmackDown, the last show before the Survivor Series. On top of this, according to Fightful, Becky Lynch has been discussed and was planned to be the fifth member, although it was noted that this could change. After suffering from a separated shoulder at SummerSlam in July, she's been out of action since, although she is now expected to be back soon. Elsewhere on Raw, a WWE United States Championship match was announced for Survivor Series, with Seth Rollins putting his title on the line against two opponents, Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory. The match follows Theory's unsuccessful Money in the Bank cash-in on the US champion, who failed partly due to Lashley's interference. This past Saturday night, William Regal would turn his back on Jon Moxley to aid MJF to the AEW World Championship, handing the Salt of the Earth the brass knucks which he used to win the title. AEW have now confirmed that we will hear from Regal this weekend on the Thanksgiving Eve edition of Dynamite, his first appearance since the turn. There's no word on if MJF himself will be on the show, although fans expect him to be present. Brian Alvarez on Wrestling Observer Radio last night would reveal that prior to his concussion at the Forbidden Door event in June, Adam Cole had suffered a prior concussion not long before, adding reasons to why his colleagues are concerned for him, and he would say, one of the things in his case was he had gotten a concussion, and then he came back and immediately got another concussion. So the feeling was, well, let's give him plenty of time this time, so that when he comes back, he doesn't immediately get another concussion. Plus, you don't want him to get two in a row. He came back, he was immediately hurt again, and the feeling was he clearly came back too early. So after it happened on a second time, it was like, he's going to be out unless he's like 100%, and it could be a while. Andrade El Idolo has been absent from AEW television as of late, this following a real-life backstage altercation with Sammy Guevara. Well, the Idol may well have just wished All Elite Wrestling farewell, with him taking to Instagram to say, I just want to say thank you. Bye. His former WWE manager Zelina Vega would react to the post with love hearts, whilst current WWE superstar Humberto reacted with eye emojis. What the future holds for Andrade does remain to be seen, although he was reportedly one of the talents that wants out of AEW, following Triple H's hiring as WWE head of creative. And next up, a former WWE star is set to return to AAA. Former UFC champion and WWE superstar Cain Velasquez was arrested back in February, this after allegedly shooting a man during a car chase. He was said to be aiming for a man that allegedly abused one of his younger relatives, hitting the target's stepfather instead. Due to the circumstances of the crime, a Free Cain movement would begin on social media, although he was denied bail multiple times before being granted a $1 million bail back on November 1st. According to MMA Junkie, Cain has now received clearance to work a match at AAA's upcoming Arizona show on December 3rd, this whilst on bail under trial of charges of attempted murder. The report adds that this will happen under certain circumstances and notes, Judge Arthur Bocanegra ruled that Velasquez will be allowed to partake in the event without GPS monitoring, despite the district attorney's office's objection. He will leave December 1st and return December 4th. As a result of his monitoring device being removed for the duration of his trip, Judge Bocanegra ruled that Velasquez must hire a police officer for work detail and absorb the cost. The AAA appearance marks Velasquez's fourth match for AAA, having competed twice in 2019 and 2021, and his sixth wrestling match ever, having also competed in WWE twice in 2019. And next up, a top AEW star has discussed retiring from wrestling. In February 2016, WWE superstar Daniel Bryan was forced to retire from wrestling due to issues with concussions, keeping him out of the ring for more than 2 years. Bryan would then return to action at WrestleMania 34, this after being cleared by 3 external independent neurosurgeons, neurologists, and concussion experts. After later headlining WrestleMania 36, Bryan would then leave WWE to return to his real-life name of Bryan Danielson, with him now competing in All Elite Wrestling as part of the Blackpool Combat Club. Speaking with Ron Funches on the One Fall podcast this week, Danielson would discuss his next retirement and the ideal situation, and he would say, "I would like to wrestle a match 2 weeks before I die and to not know that it's my last match. That would be my ideal situation. All that said, I'm not going to be a full-time wrestler for much longer. When my AEW contract is up, that's pretty much me being done as a full-time wrestler. I like the way people like Terry Funk and Jerry Lawler do it, where they do it for fun. As long as I have fun doing it and I experience joy doing it, it's something I want to continue doing for the rest of my life. One of the things that was brought to my attention when I was forced to retire is that you never know when your last match is going to be." Bryan would then add that he wants to return to his roots and have his last match in a less than spectacular venue, and said, "I don't have any vision of what I'd like my last match to be. I certainly don't envision it being some epic match everyone talks about. In my mind, it would be a match that I'd be doing at some local indie in front of 300 people. Okay, I'm just going out and having fun, and it turns out to be my last match. That's how I envision it." Age 41, Danielson is looking to bring his full-time schedule to an end sometime soon, with him hoping to slow down once his AEW contract expires, although the date of that is still unknown. Where his career takes him from there remains to be seen. And finally, the Elite have taken shots at CM Punk. Almost 3 months ago at AEW All Out, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Ace Steel, and CM Punk would be involved in a physical altercation backstage. This followed CM Punk's remarks during the post-show media scrum where he accused the EVPs of leaking lies to the media. The fight would then lead to all involved being suspended from the company before Steel was fired. The Elite returned to television with CM Punk's status still up in the air. Well, last night, the Young Bucks would release the first episode of Being the Elite since the incident, where shots were fired at the Second City Saint. The show would see ringside footage of the Elite's AEW Trios title match against the Death Triangle play, this their first match since All Out, with some very interesting background music being played. I'll show the lyrics on screen now if you want to pause, but there is some feeling that this was a direct shot at CM Punk himself. Not only that, but the music would stop for a brief moment to highlight a portion of the crowd chanting "Fuck CM Punk" towards the beginning of the match, with this being a more direct dig at the former AEW World Champion. The segment follows CM Punk mentioning the backstage fight during commentary on a recent CFFC MMA event, joking about reports of him being toxic backstage, and then he said that his hand was hurting, seemingly due to reportedly punching one of the Young Bucks. Now, the BTE segment can be taken as a parting shot for Punk, who is said to be negotiating a buyout of his AEW contract, but it could also be looked at another way. Many fans now feel that this is confirmation that the real-life rivalry is now being worked into a storyline. And this wasn't the end of the Bucks adding fuel to the CM Punk fire, as they have also changed their Twitter bio to reference the upcoming episode of Dynamite, which will take place in Punk's hometown of Chicago, with it reading, "Chicago, this'll be interesting." Whether you see the Being the Elite stunt as deserving following the media scrum, or if you think it backs up Punk's claims of working with children, is up to you, but I do get the feeling that this could be setting something up going forward. With the rumour of potential legal issues preventing either side from addressing the incident publicly, would the Elite go out of their way to take such a direct shot at Punk if something hadn't been worked out? I don't have the answer, but as a bonus note, CM Punk's live event exclusive merchandise that has been sold at arenas since the Dynamite after All Out is now available online. Again, this could be a sign of an impending return, or AEW could be clearing their stock ahead of his exit. Again, nobody has the answers right now, but things are certainly heating up between the Elite and CM Punk. But what reaction do you think the Elite will get in Chicago this Wednesday? Let me know in the comments down below. And before you go, make sure you check out 10 masked AEW wrestlers unmasked.